think in our family, I think the hero of the Christmas season is my wife. She works very hard to make sure that Christmas remains a special day.
In Slovakia, and not only Slovakia, but I believe the majority of European countries, we don't have Santa Claus coming to bring presents for our good children, but we have little Jesus who comes on 24th of December in the evening, and sometimes he's so late that sometimes we find our presents only on the 25th in the morning.
I asked you to bring something that was precious to you. Can you each just show me what you have? Mia, what's yours?
Mine is art.
It's a spiral art.
I got it for my birthday.
What have you got?
have my camera that I think I got last Christmas. I like it because it can take a picture, do videos, do different sizes and different shapes with taking a picture.
Okay, Matthias, what is yours?
It's a Monopoly game.
Oh, Monopoly. Avengers Monopoly. Let's see what that board is like. Oh, I see why you like that. Do you play games with your sisters?
But Mia doesn't like it because it gives her bad feelings.
Oh, yes.
So I have board games that I got when I was 7 years old. And I got it because I was picked to sing for our town hall when there was special occasion, like town hall was welcoming new babies, or there was a wedding, or something other special. Then they asked me to come and sing for them. And at the end of the year, I got these amazing board games that were very precious for me because they were so different than what we had at home till then. So I really valued it a great deal.
Wow, and you've saved it all these years.
Oh, I did.
Tell me about that. Were you the only one who was singing?
The first year, yes, and then they picked 2 other children from our school to recite the poems or sing.
Now, you shared with us that this was very special to you, right?
Yes.
So, how would you feel about giving that to somebody else who needed it?
Well, if I had to give this to someone who would be my best friend, or I wouldn't give it, I would feel jealous.
Mm-hmm.
I would want it too,
Yes.
and I would beg for it.
You would beg her back for it. What about you? What happens if I said you have to give that to somebody else as a gift?
I would be sad,
Uh-huh.
want it back.
You'd want it back. What happens if that person is Jesus?
I would give it to him and not say anything. I would just that and keep my thoughts in my mind. I would just, I want it back now.
He probably would have thought, well, why does he want it, right?
Yeah, he's just a little baby. He can't do this.
Yes.
And anyway, look how long ago that was.
That
Look at
was.
the houses.
But we still give gifts, don't we?
Yes, I think Jesus would not want it. He would just give it back. And
What does Jesus really want?
he really wants us to love and take care. Like the woman who had 1 coin or 2 and came to the temple and dropped them in the bucket. And Jesus said to Peter and someone else, look at that woman. Those little coins are much more specialer than all the rich people. Look how much they have, and she just has this much. She's giving it away for God. Look how much she brought, just 2 coins, and the other brought bags of more. But Jesus said to the crowd that was it was the most specialist.
It was the most.
It
It would be as though you gave your most special gift out of love to someone. It would be.
So this story, or these pictures, these figurines here, they are trying to tell us a story about how Jesus was born. And of course, Jesus was born an Israelite. He was Jewish. His great-great-great-great-grandfather was Abraham. And in the Old Testament, it said that one day a special person is going to come, and this special person is the Messiah. And the Messiah was going to do 3 things. He would save God's people, protect Israel. He would also rule the world and bring peace to the world and get rid of all the problems and injustice and wars and all that kind of stuff. And then he would also somehow involve people who weren't Jewish, who weren't Israelites, the Gentiles, the rest of us. They would be drawn to this Messiah person too. The Jewish people knew that he was going to be born in Bethlehem, but they didn't really know much else. And so when he came, it was a bit of a surprise. Do you know who were the guests that came for his birthday?
The shepherds.
The shepherds came, and there's reasons for that. In those days, if you took care of sheep, you couldn't go to the temple in Jerusalem very often because you had these sheep to take care of, and you couldn't just leave your sheep. So these guys couldn't go to the big church they had, the big temple. And so they got a special invite when the Messiah was born to come see him, and the angels came and gave it to them. That was really cool. Who else came?
The wise men who gave him presents.
Do you remember where they came from?
Bethlehem.
They weren't from Bethlehem. They were from other countries. And so the wise men were people who weren't Jewish. They weren't Israelites. And they came. They didn't come right the night he was born. They came a while afterwards. We don't know how much longer, maybe a year or 2 years or something like that. But they came because he was born. And so they were Gentiles. They weren't Jews. And they got a special invite to come and meet the Messiah. Where was Jesus?
In a stable?
In a stable, yeah. Is it normal for babies to be born in stables?
No.
No. Yeah, Mary and Joseph, they wanted to go to an inn. They wanted to go to like a hotel. And Jesus could have been born in this inn, this hotel, but why weren't they in the inn? Do you remember why? Yeah.
Because it was too much people. It's all crowded.
Right, it was too many people. They couldn't get into the inn. But you know what? It probably was a good thing that they didn't go to this inn, because in those days, inns weren't very clean, and they had all these nasty bugs and stuff there. But instead he went to a stable, and the stable probably wasn't clean either, but it didn't have the nasty bugs that would have bitten little babies. It probably would have had bugs that bit animals, but not little babies. And so even though the stable looked like a bad place, it ended up being a better place for him to be born than where they wanted to go. And I think God's often like that. Sometimes we want something that looks good, but it turns out if we actually got it, it wouldn't be good for us. And so God gives us what's better for us. In this case, it was the stable for Jesus to be born in.
Real gift is something that comes from the heart, that costs you something. Just like Jesus was the real gift because it cost God everything. It cost God everything.
Even when he died on the cross,
Yes.
God tore the temple in half and started clouding stuff over so he could show that he loved his son a lot. He was the most specialist toy he could ever have.
That's right.
And so he did that to tell everyone, this is my son, I love him a lot.
And it all started there at Christmas time.